Hello YouTube and welcome to Sonyabeonit channel. Today we're going to make hot wings, lemon pepper wings, french fries from whole potatoes, and a side dish of celery. The first thing we must do before getting started is cover our hair because we don't want to find any hair in the food. So let's get started. The first thing we're actually going to do, we're going to go ahead and soak the chicken wings so they can begin to unthaw if they're frozen. Please, whatever you do, do not try to fry frozen chicken wings. So I have gone to Sam's Club and bought a family size of Tyson chicken wings. They come in the first and second. They're actually so in a bigger bag, and this is more so for like a family of 3 or more. So what we're going to do first, we're going to get a bowl, put a couple of pieces of chicken wing inside of the bowl. We're going to go ahead and add water to this. Soak this, sit it to the side as it unthaws, and then we're going to start on our french fries while this is actually unthawing. Okay, you probably want to put a little warm water, not hot water, but go ahead and put some warm water in the bowl and allow those chicken wings to unthaw evenly because, like I stated, you do not want to try and fry frozen chicken wings. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead while that's unthawing, we're going to actually prep our french fries. And I would recommend, if you have a large family, I have done it in the past, I would go out to the store and buy bags of french fries, but guess what? When you're feeding more than one person, sometimes it can be a little bit costly. So what you want to do is buy a bag of potatoes. I've taken a couple of potatoes out. These are the smaller ones. Now that's the only thing about buying a bag of potatoes. You don't know what size you're actually going to get unless you stand there and just look through different bags to see if they have larger potatoes. But sometimes larger is not always better anyway. Okay, we have this actual potato. I have this thing that I actually use to shave my potatoes. You can actually use this. You can find this in any Walmart store, department store. And it comes in, it's really handy. Okay, this is the correct way of shaving a potato with this peeler. You can use this for an apple. You can use it for actually shaving like a lemon. It has a lot of good uses to this particular kitchen utensil, I guess you would call it. But this is what you're going to do. You're going to prop the potato in your hand. Make sure that your hand is below the potato. You're going to take it, place it on there, and it's actually going to do the work for you. You're just applying a little pressure and it's going to actually shave it off. Rotate the potato, start on that side. Rotate. So as you can see, this is a very small potato and it still is doing a great job. And this way you don't shave off too much potato, you're just shaving off the skin of the potato. Okay, I'm almost finished with this one, using this device. Okay, this is one way you can do it. Or you can actually go the old-fashioned way of taking the skin off a potato with a knife. And you just lightly, you're going to dig in just a little bit. Because you don't want to take all your potato off with your skin. And if you're one of those that like to eat your fries with the skin on, that is a great way to eat potatoes too, when you're actually making some french fries. See, that's very thin because I don't want to lose all my potato. It may take just a little bit longer, but hey, you're making potatoes and this is the cheaper way to do it. And then also what I tend to do sometimes when I'm actually cutting up potatoes, I may buy a bag of potato for $2. I would take that bag and cut it up for fries, and after I cut it up, after I cut it up, I actually will freeze it for a later time. So if the kids want to make fries, they can just go in the freezer and actually make the fries. I'm going to show you an example of cutting fries. It's to your preference what size you want your fries to be, but you take the knife, prop it in your hand, secure it. You make one line, 2, 3, and then you're gonna dice potatoes. You're gonna dice, but you see these are not that large because we have a smaller size potato. But you can cut it whatever size you want it to be. If you want it to be chunky like that, leave it. If you want a whole potato like that, that's fine. These are some fries that I actually cut up earlier. These are a lot of fries. Now, if I went in the store and purchased a bag like this, I think I would pay probably about $4 or $5. When I only paid $2 for an entire bag of potatoes. This is the least expensive way to go. For those of you who like the skin on your potato, just take your knife, you go through, 3 section, cut. That's with the skin. You're gonna cut. That's a good way to eat it too. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, the fries we've actually chopped and cut up, we're gonna actually fry them in 2 quarts of cooking oil. This is a larger pot that I'm using, so therefore I put 2 quarts of cooking oil in it. I'm gonna actually put it on a medium heat. Once the fries are inside, I'm gonna turn it up to the highest temperature. And this has to be done by hand. You're gonna get some splatter because the potatoes are wet. Just be careful when you're placing it in. Go from the side. The best way to put fries in a pot is from the side. And I'm actually going to fill this pot up. Okay, out of 6 potatoes, I still have some potatoes left over that I'm going to freeze and use for a later time. It's okay with the discoloration. They're still good potato. And what it is, that is the starch from the potato. You know, normally when you buy potatoes in a bag, it already comes with preservatives and things they put on it to keep the color from changing. But there's nothing wrong with these. So we're gonna place these in my freezer for another time. Now that I have all of these in the pot, I have a full pot of potatoes and 2 quarts of water and 2 quarts of oil. I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn it up to the highest temperature, leave that there, and allow it to cook. The next thing we're going to do is the celery. We're going to actually cut up some celery to prepare to go with this meal. Here's a bowl of celery. I'm going to show you the correct way of slicing or cutting up celery. So when you go to your local supermarket and you see celery that comes in a bunch like this, it's more than this. But I've actually saved 2 to show you the correct way. As you can see, it has like a floury part at the top. I'm going to cut that off. The end part comes on a stalk. It's maybe so round, I don't have it. I threw it away. We're going to cut that off. We're going to cut it in the middle. Take it, rest it in your hand. There you go. Put it in a bowl of water. And the reason I have water, I'm actually putting it in the water, is because you want it to clean itself. Rinse it off, put another fresh bowl of water in there, and you're going to put it in the refrigerator so it can actually chill. Down the middle. If you want it thinner, 1, 2. So next time you go in the market, don't buy the ones already sliced up. It only takes, if a minute to do this, and it's cheaper. Here you have the bowl of celery. You're going to take your celery, put it in water, shift it around. You're going to pour that water off. You're going to add more water. You're going to shift it around, pour that off. Do it probably about 2 or 3 times. Now that I have added this last bowl of water, I'm going to actually sit this in the refrigerator and allow it to chill as I'm completing my other steps of frying my chicken and my french fries. So at the end, it's going to be chilled, and you can take this out of the water to serve it with your meal. Okay, checking on the fries. We're going to go ahead and take them out because they're ready. Now keep in mind, these are home-cooked fries that came from a whole potato. So they're not going to look like McDonald's or Burger King, but this is what you call true home cooking of making fries. You're actually going to get your pan, your favorite pan. You're going to line it. If you don't have a cooling rack, you're going to take them out. You're going to place them in your pan. And what's going to happen with the napkin is actually going to absorb all that additional grease. So by the time you're ready to serve, they're going to be ready. Okay, we're down to our last few that we're going to actually take out the pot. And once I take this out, we're going to allow this to finish draining some of that, absorbing some of that grease onto the napkin that we have it lined in the pan. And we're going to move over to actually cooking our chicken now, because at this point it should be unthawed enough where we can actually go ahead and cook that chicken. Now that we have taken the fries from the grease, we're going to actually turn the grease down to a number 2 and leave it simmering, still warm or hot. We're going to go over and check on our chicken wings to see if they're ready to be deep fried in the grease. Now that we're checking on our chicken wings to see how they unthawed from taking it from the freezer, and they appear to be ready, what we're going to do is pour this water off. We're going to rinse it off and actually dry it. Make sure it's dry enough to put into the grease, because you never want to put wet chicken inside of hot grease. That is a no-no. Let's go ahead and pour that off. We're going to go ahead and rinse it off one additional time. But the best way to clean any kind of meat, especially chicken or beef, you want to put it in water and add like a tablespoon of salt and let it sit for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. And then you're going to pour that off, and that's it. Please, as I stated, before frying the chicken, make sure it's not really wet. You don't want it to be wet and try to place this in grease. That is a no-no. So let's fry it. We have a grease on a number 2, which is a lower heat. We're going to go ahead and pick the chicken up. We're not going to put any type of season on it because we're going to make lemon pepper and hot wings. You don't want to have any season on it already. So you're going to take the chicken. Always go from the side, never from the middle. We're going to take the chicken and actually put it in the pot from the side, because if you go from the middle, you're going to splatter grease. It has a little water on it, but not a lot. You're going to keep it at this low setting because you don't want the grease to splatter back on you or possibly start a fire. Okay, now that all the chicken is inside the pot, now we're going to turn that chicken up to the highest setting. We're going to take our pot. We're not going to do anything with the chicken. We're just going to take the pot and just shift it a little bit. Be careful when you do this though. Next, while that is cooking, we're going to go ahead and prepare our different sauces for the chicken. We're going to make a sauce for the lemon pepper, and we're going to make a sauce for the hot wings. Okay, this is the bowl that I actually have the chicken in. I went ahead and washed the bowl out because I want you to see how I make this sauce. It's a very basic sauce. You're going to use any kind of your favorite hot sauce. Let's go with 1 cup of hot sauce. That's a cup. Okay. When it comes to margarine, you want to use 1/4 cup of margarine. Okay, what I'm going to do with this, take it over to the microwave. I'm going to heat it up, and then we're going to mix this together, and we're going to insert a couple of pieces of chicken wings. I've just taken the sauce out of the microwave. I actually make some Texas Pete, 1 cup of Texas Pete and a 1/4 cup of margarine in a bowl. I took it over to the microwave and allowed that butter to melt. We're going to go ahead and take some of the chicken wings because we actually have some ready. We're going to bring that over. Here are some chicken wings that are ready to be dipped in the sauce. I just brought them over. We're going to take a couple of pieces. We're going to apply it into the sauce. You can either apply it in the sauce or you can pour it over it, whichever you prefer to do. Just a few pieces. We're going to mix that up real good. If you like your hot wings hotter than this, you can actually add some tobacco sauce to it, but I prefer just hot sauce and butter. We'll go ahead and get a bowl and put these pieces on the bowl, and then we're going to go ahead and make the lemon pepper sauce. And then we're going to plate it all together with our celery, and we're going to see the final result. So now we're going to prepare the seasoning for the lemon pepper wings. You're going to actually need 1/3 cup of any kind of your favorite lemon pepper seasoning. Let's go ahead and pour that in here. That's 1/3. I'm going to dump that in the bowl. Next thing you're going to need is 1/4 cup of margarine. I'm going to take this over to the microwave. We're going to melt that sauce. So here we have the lemon pepper seasoning with some melted butter. And we actually put this in the microwave to melt it. We're going to go ahead and add a couple of pieces of chicken to it. As I stated, you can either put all the chicken in a bowl and pour the seasoning or the mix over the top, or you can do it as if you could do it the way I'm doing it. I'm going to mix it and marinate it together. And there you have it, lemon pepper wings. We're going to go ahead and plate some hot wings with some lemon pepper wings, pull our celery out of the refrigerator, and we're going to come back with the final result of this tutorial. Okay, so here you have it. This is the final result of lemon pepper wings and hot wings served with a order of fresh cut fries. Here's our celery on the plate, and we're going to add a little dressing on the side, which I like blue cheese to eat with my hot wings. Put that in the bowl to the side. Some chunky blue cheese to go with that celery, and it's also good to dip the chicken wing in the blue cheese. So there you have it. Fresh cut fries, hot wings, lemon pepper, a side dish of celery, and blue cheese. Enjoy. So I hope you have enjoyed this time we have shared together making hot wings, lemon pepper wings, homemade french fries, and a side order of celery. Until next time, be blessed.